Hello everyone, I'm Nick Gomez, and this is the SS Junior Varsity. Together, we are the two souls that make the Sailing Meditation channel on YouTube. In this playlist, you can follow me as I document my DIY boat repairs and upgrades and divulge my tools of the trade. With never before seen behind the scenes footage, you'll see firsthand what makes sailing meditation run with the wind. This is Nick's Tech Corner on the Sailing Meditation channel. Previously on Tech Corner, Nick successfully replaced his old teak deck handles with new ones, with some minor modifications.
We got a problem.
A new day brings new challenges, and this is where the boat meets the water, where the fishing line meets the hook, where Nick and the SS Junior Varsity tighten their bond to achieve sailing meditation serenity. Follow Nick on his journey through the next episode of Nick's Tech Corner, Fiberglass Bondo and Painting the Deck, Part 1. Will Nick succeed on this endeavor or crumble under the pressure of the first heat wave of a Los Angeles summer?
This was a terrible idea. This is awful.
We'll find out on this episode of Nick's Tech Corner on the Sailing Meditation channel. Brought to you by subscribe, share, and comment below.
Well, on the last tech video, I went over my deck handle installation, and it went pretty good. But from there, I knew that after putting those on, I would need to possibly paint where the deck handles go, and then add some silicone, some sort of sealant. And as I got into it, I realized, crap, I should just Bondo and repaint the whole deck. So that's what I'm doing. And I've taped the area that I'm going to start working with first. I'm going to do this like middle aft area, and then work my way to the cockpit, do all this. There's a bunch of like little divots where like seagulls and other seabirds, like, you know, they come over here, land, have their lunch, you know, create massive holes in my cockpit, and then get the heck out of here. So anyways, I'm gonna fix all that. Show you here. I've used this QuickFair from 3M. It's an epoxy you mix together, and there's some just worn out. There's like a divot in here from just sliding the door open and shut. So I filled that in. I'm just kind of waiting for it to dry enough to where I can kind of close down for the night. Then I'll come back tomorrow and start sanding and hopefully get some paint on this bad boy. Here's the stuff that I've been using, the fiberglass Bondo I've been calling it. It is System 3. I don't think it is a 3. Wait, this isn't 3M. I thought it was a 3M product. Nope. It is from System 3. And I heard some guy, well, I didn't hear him. I read a guy on a forum talk about it, saying that was like perfect, easy. So far, I'm digging it. Yeah, it's working really well. Dries really hard. I realized in my previous video, I thought it didn't dry fast enough, but then I realized that I didn't have the mixture right. Okay, quick update in this Bondo job. It's my first time doing this. Sanding. Some of this stuff down here, it's kind of still tacky from yesterday. I think it's because I covered it overnight, because I didn't have a top hatch to the cabin, so I covered everything. But I think on the flip side of that, it didn't dry all the way. I think because it's tacky and it's hard to sand. And this is quite a bit of sanding, more sanding than I thought. And it's thick in this spot, so yeah, it's a little tiring. I noticed that the drier spots, like right here, this little chip that I fixed, it dried really good, and maybe it was thinner, and it sanded like no problem. But this other stuff that's tacky, having a hard time. Am I regretting this yet? Almost. Not quite there yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting to regret. Getting really close. Okay.
supposed to be 2 to 1. And I'll show you what that means if you're not familiar with how epoxies work. Usually take one of these things. This one is the hardener, which makes sense. It's probably why I thought it was wet. I didn't have enough of that. And, sorry, it's hard to do this one-handed. And that mixes with that. So 1 part this, 2 part this. I like to use a little piece of cardboard that I'm happy to throw away. This time I'm going to try a different measuring technique. I've got 2 of these little spade things. I was using this to mix, but look, this one is almost perfectly half the size of the big one. So I'm thinking if I scoop out like to here on the little one and do the same to here on the big one, I should have a pretty good 2 to 1 ratio, I think. And then I'll mix with the back of this stick of wood. Okay. This might look weird because I rigged the camera, by camera, I mean my phone upside down. And I'm gonna mix these 2 things together. Can you see it? You can see all the way to here. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Hardener. And what do they call this? The resin. Okay. Let's do the resin first. So it was like 50 or 60 bucks for this package, which is like way more than I need for just, doing little pits and scrapes and things like that. So keep that in mind if you're gonna buy it. Like, a little goes a long way. So let's try this. So I'll do that. It's like almost impossible. I need like an ice cream scoop or something. Then it's like, how do you reuse that? So there we go, ish, right? We'll scrape that on here. It's kind of fun to work with. Kind of reminds me of like arts and crafts growing up. But I guess maybe that's arts and crafts. Is that supposed to teach us to become paint and Bondo experts? I don't know. So for my first time, I guess, I should give myself more credit. For my first time, I think I'm doing okay, but, Okay, is that half the amount of this? I'm gonna go with a yes. Let's just go for it. Let's just see. What's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. Okay, throw that up there. Okay, so now part A, part B. Now we mix it together. I'm just gonna keep using this because I'm gonna use this to apply. Gloves on, and I'm gonna try this out. All right, that's 2 thumbs up, if you couldn't tell. Hi, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. Been here for a while, started painting. I've come to the conclusion that this was a terrible idea. This is awful. I had a leak in one of my paint pans, and it's causing me to paint more of the boat now because it leaked everywhere. I'm pretty bad at this, I guess. Maybe I didn't plan well enough. I got a coat on here and a single coat on some of the hatch panels or whatever. But God, I'm tired. I'm gonna get out of the sun.
take a break and come back.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Stay tuned for episode 3 as Nick dives knee-deep into this oil-based chemical bath of a paint job. Will he get the shiny outcome he's been daydreaming about, or fall flat like a latex-based matte finish and taupe? In the meantime, enjoy this progress B-roll as we listen to John Gus rip this guitar wide open. See you next time, folks. Be well.